Hi there, Logan with Hunters Connect. In this video, we're going to talk all about small game hunting. We're going to go over gear and tactics that you need to be successful in the woods on small game. We're going to break it up into two parts. First, we're going to talk about the gear and tactics that you use with long rifles and rimfire, and then we're going to move over into the archery world, talk about compound bows and recurves and some of the gear and tactics that you need to be successful out there. So let's get to it. So before I start talking about tactics, I want to talk about the gear that we use for using long rifles to hunt small game. Now, for the purpose of this video, small game I'm going to talk about is anything smaller than a predatory animal. So we're not going to talk about coyotes or foxes or any of those fur bearers. We're really going to focus on those game birds, grouse, pheasant, and then also rabbits and squirrels. Those are probably going to be the two main small game animals that people hunt across the country. As you get into the west, you start hunting some ground squirrels and prairie dogs, more of a damage mitigation animal. But for the most part, no matter where you are in the country, if you're hunting small game with a long rifle, by far and away the most popular caliber is going to be the 22. So that's really what I'm going to focus on today. There are some others, 17 HMR for example, even 22 250s. I know they love those down in the southeast, but as you start to go up in caliber, you're going to have less left of that animal to consume, right? So I really do recommend a 22. It's a very versatile caliber. And I'm going to talk about bullets in a little bit, but first I'm going to talk about the different rifles I have in front of me. This first one on the bottom is really cool. It's an old Stevens. Ruger makes them now, but it's a over-under that's a 22 410. So it's a rimfire shotgun combo. It's very versatile, right? So if you're small game hunting and you get a squirrel in a tree, you can take him with the 22 barrel. If something flushes, you can switch over to the shotgun barrel and take him out of the air with the 410. That's really all I'm going to speak about to shotguns for now, just because it is a combo style gun and a ton of fun. Great youth option too, because it is so versatile. Also very safe. You know, it's got the hammer style action, so very low chance of discharging this gun on accident. Stepping up, these are actually both 22s. This chassis version I know doesn't really look like a 22. It's more of your modern style 22. It is a semi-automatic. It's got this magazine here that you load. Magazine goes in the bottom, and again, just really good for small game hunting. And then this one on top here is more of your traditional hunting style 22, right? This is actually the gun I grew up hunting with. One thing I really like about this 22 here, and this is a huge tip if you're thinking about purchasing a rifle, as much fun as it is to reload this magazine all the time and, you know, put it in the bottom of this chassis 22 here, it starts to hurt your finger and it takes a long time to load this magazine. This older style, this is a Marlin 22. I'm going to take it out of the vise here to show you, but it actually has a magazine it's called a barrel fed or tube fed. And so the bullets are going to go in here. You just drop them in, they slide down. Once you have that thing loaded up, you shut the magazine here and you're ready to go. So it holds just as much, if not more than that magazine, but it's easier to load, it's faster to load, it doesn't hurt your fingers. And so this is a really solid option for hunting when it comes to 22s. Another really cool thing that I like about this rifle that I want to talk about, and this is another huge gear tip for you, is it has a scope on it. I cannot recommend enough that when you get your first rifle, or if you're getting kids into hunting, don't start with a scope. Start with iron sights. Get really proficient using the rifle safely with iron sights, and then step into a scope. Even myself, I've been hunting for over 20 years. There's still iron sights on this rifle. It's a really cool setup. It's an older style mount where the scope is on top, and underneath the scope I have a sight window to look through my iron sights. So that gives me all kinds of options and makes this gun way more versatile, right? If something's running, I can easily track it, iron sights underneath the scope, and if it stops, I can pick my head up into the scope, and I have anywhere from 3 to 9 power on this particular scope depending on where I want to zoom into. When it does come to optics, I have another really important tip for you. People have a very bad tendency to oversize their optics for what they're doing. Everybody wants to shoot a 5 to 25 power scope or a 4 to 20 power scope. And those numbers, for those of you who don't know, that lower number, the first number, is the low end of the zoom range, and the next number after the dash is the upper end of the zoom range. So 4 to 20 power scope means you have anywhere from 4 power to 20 power. That means at your lowest power, you're at 4 power. That really narrows your field of view and it makes it hard to pick up targets. So I can't recommend enough, starting with a smaller style scope, especially for 22s and small game, there's no reason to have a scope that's bigger than 3 to 9 power. Ideally, you even get in a 2 to 7 or even a 1 to 8 or a 1 to 6, a low power variable optic they call them. Those lower power scopes are going to have a bigger field of view, they're going to be easier to find stuff, and you just don't need the zoom range with the 22 and small game hunting. Before I move on to the bullets, I do want to mention one more thing. You'll see that this chassis gun is threaded at the tip. That does allow for a suppressor. Once you get into bigger calibers, suppressors are really nice. The good thing about 22s is they're relatively quiet, so it is nice to have a suppressor on them, but again, you have to go through the whole tax stamp process and it takes a while. So again, nice thing about shooting a 22 is it's relatively quiet, easy on your ears. So that pretty much covers everything I have to talk about the actual guns themselves. Now I want to talk about bullets in particular. So in a 22 specifically, there's not a lot of bullet tip options. You really have a solid tip or a hollow tip. And what that means, a solid tip is just like it sounds, it's solid, and a hollow tip has a little hole in the tip. The hollow tips are going to expand. So those are the bullets you want to use for small game hunting. They have a lot more kinetic energy and a lot more knockdown power. Those solid tip bullets are more for target shooting and plinking. So I do recommend a hollow tip bullet for hunting. When you get up into some of the other calibers, 17 HMR for example, you have a little bit more fancy ballistic tip style bullets or plastic tip style bullets like the VMAX that Hornady makes. Highly recommend those tips. They're very effective at being accurate flying through the air and then expanding once they get to the target and delivering the knockdown power that you need for hunting. So that's pretty much what I have to say around tips. Now before I move on, I want to talk about something really, really important. When you get a rifle, I highly recommend you buy a lot of small batches of different types of ammo, because the reality is not every gun is going to shoot every ammo the same. And in fact, most guns are going to like one type of ammo. And what you're going to find is a lot more accuracy once you find the ammo that your gun likes. So when I bought this chassis 22 here, I bought 10 different styles of 22. I shot them all, and believe it or not, this big bucket of Remington ammo is the one that performed the best. So that's what I stick with. That's what I shoot out of this gun. On my Marlin up here on top, it's not very picky. It's not a picky gun. It shoots all ammo, pretty well. Granted, there's different impact points for different ammo. So once you land on the ammo that you like and your gun likes, and what I mean by likes is I mean consistency. Once you shoot a block of ammo, one specific type of ammo, you're looking for the ammo that groups the best. Once you find the ammo that groups the best, you then shift that grouping to the bullseye and stick with that ammo, right? So this one down here was picky. I tried 8 different types of ammo and I found one that it liked. This one up here, it really likes all ammo. But the important thing is once you start shooting one type of ammo, you can't just switch ammos because it's going to have a different impact point. So as I start talking more about tactics for small game hunting, that's another tactic, right? Is when you're small game hunting, you're getting better with your weapon, and it's a really good way to shoot a lot. You're going to get way more accurate. You're going to become a better shooter. And a lot of that is understanding some of the things I just talked about. It's understanding that switching bullets switches your impact point, so don't do that, right? Once you get your gun dialed in for a specific type of ammo, stick with it, get good with it, get comfortable with it, and then go hit the woods.